Dear viewers, welcome to yet another edition of Expert Speaks. Many of you have asked me, how can we transact using the cash? Are there any restrictions? What is the limits that are allowed? What is the TDS that gets applied? Will we be permitted to deal in cash or not? I have raised all these questions of yours to my expert of the week, Chartered Accountant Sriram. And during the course of this program, he is going to answer all the questions that could be there in your mind. This is NRI Money Clinic for you, and I am Dr. Chandrakant Bhatt, your financial guide for a happy living.
NRI Money Clinic. No hype, just the right advice.
Dear viewers, to answer your questions pertaining to cash transactions while buying, selling, or transacting with a bank or individuals or institutions, I have invited my special faculty of the week, Chartered Accountant Sriram Rao. Chartered Accountant Sriram Rao is very popular. You have seen him in multiple number of times, a partner at Nitin J. Shetty & Co., a chartered accountant who practices direct taxes, international taxation, a popular chartered accountant amongst the NRI community. Welcome to the show, Mr. Sriram Rao.
Thank you.
Mr. Sriram, audience has asked me a lot of questions, their favorite question. Can we deal in cash? The newspapers say, the television say cash is going out of the system. And my audience is asking, can we still deal in cash? What do you have to say for that?
See, before answering this, one need to check what kind of transaction that you want to enter into and, pay in cash or receive in cash, etc. Right. And what is the consideration or the quantum of the amount which you want to deal in. Normally, small transactions are always acceptable, So beyond, but certain expenditure, business expenditure, or certain receipt, or certain types of repayments, or certain types of payments, that they might have certain repercussions, say either in respect of some penalties or some reporting, etc. So those kind of transactions needs to be very carefully handled. Apart from that, very small type of transactions in cash can be carried out now also.
Okay. Now, when we talk about the transaction in cash, let's look at in two different spheres. A cash pertaining to individual transaction. I receive money, I give money, or I take a loan, or I repay a loan, or something like that. So, are there any threshold? The word small is very vague word. It does not have clarity around it. What is small?
Correct.
What is the threshold level? Up to what extent is permitted? What is that it is permitted, and what is that is not permitted?
Yes. Now, as you said, we can try to bifurcate in respect of, say, payment of cash or receipt of cash. Let us now first look into what are all kind of payments in cash which can be made or which is allowed under the law. Okay. Now, any business expenditures, either it be revenue expenditures or capital expenditure for purchase of fixed asset or anything, if it is made for an amount of more than 10,000 rupees in a day to a person, say I want to, I've spent some, I've received some invoice for which I was supposed to make a payment. I made a payment in cash in excess of rupees 10,000 to a person. Again, that invoice in a day, those kind of expenditures are not allowed under the Act. The main reason being they want to carry out all these transactions either through account pay checks or in any digital modes. There are so many digital modes possible now. Credit card, debit card, or UPI, whatever it is. So in that, they want to carry out all these transactions for a business people. Okay. Same if it is like in the form of fixed asset purchased by payment of cash beyond 10,000. At that time, for the cash portion, depreciation will not be allowed over the period of that asset. No, that is also a loss for the business. So from the point of view of business, 10,000, threshold is there towards the payment asset. Okay. Then after this, if a trust, is providing exemption for receipt of donations under section 80G, here a person making donation in excess of rupees 2,000, the donor cannot claim the benefit of 80G if he makes a cash, donation in excess of rupees 2,000.
So if you want an 80G benefit, pay it in banking channels or checks.
Yes.
If you pay cash, up to 2,000 only permitted, beyond that disallowed.
I mean, the deduction cannot be claimed. So
Okay.
if at all deduction is available, only then. Otherwise, it doesn't make a difference.
Right.
Okay. And in respect of some other transactions which are in the payment of in the payment mode, say any repayment of loan or repayment of advances or repayment of advances received towards purchase of immovable property. Say I have tried to sell immovable property. I have received the advance towards that. I want to repay it now because of cancellation of the agreement. So that repayment, if I do in cash, okay, or repayment of any deposit made by me or deposit which I was holding. If I make any of these kind of repayments in cash in excess of rupees 19,999, that is, if I make repayment of 20,000 or more in cash, then there is a hefty penalty of 100% of the amount which I have repaid.
To the payer.
To the payer. This is
Right.
towards the repayment, not for the fresh payment.
Right.
For the repayment of loan, repayment of advance, repayment of deposit, so on and so forth. But this will not be applicable if the repayment is made to the against a bank loan or scheduled bank or private bank or so and so. It is applicable to the individual loans like hand loans if somebody takes.
Yeah.
So the
You gave
repayment
me
of
and
that.
I gave it back to you. That is
Yes.
covered under, but it is not
Yes,
applicable
yes.
to the institutions.
Correct.
Right.
So this is about repercussions of transacting and to the payer as such,
Okay.
payer of the amount in cash.
Right. So the payer has to pay 100% penalty if the repayment exceeds 20,000 rupees or more. That is individual transaction per day or per year, or how does
No,
it?
it is an aggregate of transaction per financial year.
Oh, if somebody pays 2,000 rupees today and over many days he paid 50,000, still he has to pay the 100%
Yes.
penalty. It is not single
Yes.
transaction threshold. It is an yearly transaction threshold against individual PAN number. Is it fair to say so?
Correct. That's for the repayment. Donors donation, it is individual transaction. The 10,000 limit for the business people, that is also individual. But this is aggregate for the financial year, 20,000 limit.
Right. Okay. Sriram, you told that while making the payment, the obstacles or the threshold or hurdles which have been created to resist the cash payment, you have explained.
Correct.
Let's go to the other side of the fence and now ask you another question. But let's forget from a payment side. If there is a receiver of cash, are there any restrictions for receiving cash for the person on the other side?
Yes, there are. Say, for example, how it was for the repayment of loans. Similarly, if I want to take loan from you,
okay,
I am taking loan. So I am receiving the amount from you.
Right.
Okay. At that time, if I receive any loan or if I receive any advances from you, either for purchase of immovable property or otherwise, whatever type of advances it might be, or if I receive any deposit from you, that deposit amount in aggregate in a financial year, if it is exceeding 19,999, that means if it is 20,000 or more, again, there is a penalty of 100% to the receiver this time. Okay. It's a separate section. To the receiver, there will be a penalty of 100% if the amount received in excess of 20,000 when he receives any loan or advances or deposits. These type of three receipt.
That means the receiver of cash, this threshold is applicable to one person 1 year, right? If I am dealing with 10 different persons. So each person, that limit is available. It is not at the receiver's level, but receivers dealing with one single individual, it should not cost 19,999. If there are multiple people, so 19,999 into so many things, it can be done. So transactions are covered under one individual to the other individual.
Correct.
Right? Okay.
So yes, this is one of the receipt. Another consequence of receiving amount. That is apart from loans, advances, or deposits, any other type of receipt by any person. Okay, it may be received from a person in a day, or it is received in respect of a single transaction, maybe in a day or in whole of the year. Okay, or any receipt in respect of a transaction relating to one event or one occasion from a person. If it is exceeding 1,99,999 rupees, that is, if it is 2 lakh or more, then also there will be a penalty of 100% on the amount received. That is, to the receiver has to pay the penalty. For example,
From last point, what you told, 1,99,999.
yes,
I'm a little bit confused.
yes,
Can you help me with the
yes,
with an
yes,
example?
I will. Yes. Now, if I have to give some examples, okay. Now, say you are a trader, you are doing some trading business. You have raised an invoice because I want to purchase something from you. So, you have raised an invoice for, say, 2 lakh rupees. And I have cash in my hand. I immediately pay 2 lakh rupees in cash to you.
Okay.
You are not supposed to receive 2 lakh cash from me against in a single day for a particular transaction.
Right. Okay.
Okay, this is simple as such. Now, say you are not a trader, you are, you are a simple salaried person or whoever it may be. You are having one car which you want to sell. Now you are selling it, say, for 5 lakh rupees. So this is one transaction. I
Right.
say that, okay, I will pay you today 1.5 lakh rupees. Tomorrow I'll come and pay, say, 1,75,000. The third day, the day of delivery, I will again pay 1,75,000. Each day it may be different or less than 2 lakh rupees, but it is towards one transaction of purchasing a car from you.
Right.
You are not a trader in car, of course.
Right.
You are an individual. But still, towards one transaction, you collected 5 lakh rupees. On different date, it may be. Okay. You are not supposed to collect cash beyond 1,99,999. That is 2 lakh or more. You received towards one transaction, you are liable for paying penalty of 5 lakh rupees here.
So this is referring to a kind of business transaction. It is not a personal borrowing and receiving of deposits or giving a loan. Instead of that, this is somewhere you have raised an invoice or you have something to be sold or bought. In such case, this 1,99,999 threshold has to be applied. These
yes,
are not
for loans,
yeah.
For loans, advances and deposits, the limit is 20,000 only.
Right. Okay.
Apart from that, any transaction it can be. At that time, you cannot receive cash beyond 1,99,999.
Right.
It can also be an occasion. Say, for example, event manager. So you are, say, having an event. You have given it to an event manager. Event manager says, this has got 2-3 partitions. For each of the partition, I'll raise you different invoices below 2 lakh rupees. Okay, say for dinner separate or decoration separate, like that. And he asked you to pay the invoices in cash. He receives in different dates all these cash from you. Okay, as a receiver, it is all the invoices are pertaining to one event.
Right.
Towards that event, he has received cash in excess of rupees 2 lakhs.
So you are not supposed to split this and show it as different invoices. You are able to show it as expenses per
one
day.
Invoice.
One single.
Yes, one event.
Single event or one single occasion. That's
correct.
That's the way you have to look at it.
Yes, and receiver has to pay the penalty here.
I understood this cash concept quite well now. So government is actively trying to wean people away from doing the cash transactions. Cash is quite inefficient. Cash breeds corruption. Cash results in evasion of taxes. It's obvious that any developing country or any system which is trying to reinvent itself for efficiency has to go in this direction. But there are people who do cash transactions, but they do not know what repercussions will follow. Now you have told the threshold. Somebody goes and deposits money in the bank or does transactions either by way of negligence or ignorance or whatever it is. How does the system detect it? What repercussions might follow? People may think that the cat may think that nobody is watching and it is drinking the milk. But I'm very sure the taxman must be watching somewhere. What are the systems geared to catch such transactions? What happens behind the scenes?
See, apart from these penalties or restrictions on claiming expenditure or deductions, etc., there are certain transactions. The repercussions of this is a little different.
Hmm.
For example, if a payment is made in cash for the purchase of, say, DD, I want to purchase a demand draft from the bank or banker's check for which I paid in cash. Okay. And this amount is aggregating to 10 lakhs or more in a financial year. The banker will definitely ask you for PAN, or he would be having your PAN at any point of time. This information will immediately be passed on to RBI, and from RBI to the CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, who are managing these income tax matters. They will take note of all these things. It will get reflected in your AAS form also. Okay. So similarly, if any cash deposit or cash withdrawal is made in aggregating to rupees 50 lakhs in a financial year in a current account, in one or more current account of a person, this is a business transaction. So that also will get reported immediately. Similarly, a cash deposit aggregating to rupees 10 lakhs or more in a financial year. This is towards cash deposit aggregating to 10 lakhs or more in any account other than this current account, like SB account, etc. Okay. This is aggregate for a financial year again. Apart from this, there is something called as payment of, repayment of invoices of these credit cards. In a financial year, if credit card invoices are settled in cash beyond rupees 1 lakh rupees in a financial year, that also will get reported to the tax authorities. So these are certain, repercussions of cash deposit or withdrawal with the banker, credit card, etc. Which will get reported ultimately, about which, if your return of income is not, matching or something like that, then a question may be asked from the tax authorities. Right. So this is about cash deposit or withdrawals and disclosures. Apart from this, if a person in the normal course, he is filing return of income, etc., is fine, but he wants to withdraw cash on regular basis or once in a while, whatever case may be. Okay, withdraw cash from his own bank account, and such withdrawal of cash exceeds rupees 1 crore in a financial year, then there will be a TDS deducted by the banker at the rate of 2%.
For cash withdrawal?
Cash withdrawals, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Up to 1 crore, 2% they'll hold the TDS.
No, up to 1 crore, no problem. If the cash withdrawal is beyond 1 crore, 2% TDS.
Right.
Okay, but there are certain exceptional circumstances where one person might not have filed the return of income during 3 preceding previous year within the due date provided under the Act. Under those facts and circumstances, if cash withdrawal is made from their own account, or say bearer checks are given, whatever it may be, okay, and such aggregate of cash withdrawals exceeds rupees 20 lakh, then the TDS obligation starts for the banker. If the tax withdrawal is beyond 20 lakhs and up to 1 crore, then 2% TDS they will deduct.
But how will the banker come to know that he has not filed the tax return?
That is, there is a catch here. Now, every year, the banker has to run one application, okay, about the account holders in a system where, the income tax provision has made a system, okay, created a system where the PAN, if the bank runs a PAN list of PANs, they will specify who has not filed the return of income and give a red flag for them.
So the system is so well geared. Even a banker who is sitting there, you check through, and if the PAN number is given, he will know whether you have filed the tax return or not. Whether
and
the
that
TDS
too,
to be made after 1 crore or after 20 lakhs, he himself
after 20 lakhs. Yes, actually the bank manager may not know, but all this happens at the central level, and there will be a red flag against the account of this person who has not filed the return of income to deduct TDS beyond 20 lakhs at 2%. So they will start immediately deducting 2% TDS beyond 20 lakhs up to 1 crore. And if the cash withdrawal of such person exceeds 1 crore, then 5% TDS has to be paid.
Okay.
See, the repercussion is more here because the cash withdrawal doesn't amount to income earned by that person. but still he has to pay some TDS.
Right. So the checks and balances have been put at every place, whichever the way you
Correct.
try to do it. I will give it is only for receiver, or I receive it is for the giver. No, at the banking level, at deposit level, at the receivers level, in invoice settlement level, everywhere hurdles have been put. So probably cash
Correct.
is inefficient. Carrying cash is risky. Cash is on the way out. Is it a fair statement to make based on what you told me now?
Yes, the government want the people to transact more and more digitally.
Okay.
So that much I can say. That is why they want to cut off the cash transactions as far as possible.
Yeah, it is probably more understood by the man on the street now. I was traveling from Mangalore to Bangalore and I stopped on the way in Sakleshpur and I had to pay a small payment of 15 rupees to a vendor on the street. He said, "No cash, sir. Give me Google Pay." You know, if this is the story in a village on the roadside, I can imagine how India can get transformed over the years. Probably the days of cash are behind us and probably cash is on its way out. So, Shriram, I have no hesitation to say that probably 5 years, 10 years later, if we visit this video all over again, probably we ourselves may laugh, thinking that where is
Yes.
cash now? So it's all gone now. Now everybody is transacting digitally. Anyway, at least this video will be relevant as long as people want to transact in cash. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for guiding my audience on their questions pertaining to cash transactions, which they might do, and you have saved them the trouble of paying the penalties, and you have enriched them with the required knowledge. I remain in gratitude to you for your kindness to come all over here and share your knowledge for the benefit of the audience. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Dear viewers, hope the video that we have done today told you about the repercussions that might follow in case if you are transacting in cash beyond the permissible limits. It's in your best interest that you reduce your dependence on cash, move more and more towards the electronic form of transaction. That is in your best interest. If it did help you to understand the pitfalls of handling cash, please do like this video. If you're a person who is watching my channel for the first time, or if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Don't forget to share these videos with your friends and relatives, near and dear ones. Thank you very much for watching this episode on NRI Money Clinic. I shall be back with you next Tuesday with yet another expert, with yet another topic. Till then, stay safe.
Press the bell icon for more details and subscribe our channel.